I'm Dan.
I'm Can.
And this is the Dan and Can Show. Ooh, ow, burnt my finger there. Oh, I just figured it out. Remember last week you're like, you can't point that way. You're
do you think you're touching, point to where the fire is? Yeah.
Okay.
Now
I turned my mirror off this week.
That's what I thought. Your mirror was on.
Yeah. So now you can read my shirt correctly. I'm better than JD Vance.
Why? Was he doing that?
There was before the election or something, he had a big Trump Vance sign behind him.
Mm-hmm, but it was backwards.
Yeah, and he couldn't figure out how to do it. He's trying to turn it upside down and flip it around. Yeah, it didn't work.
To be fair, we're all still learning like a lot of things. So I won't slam him for that, but you're better than JD Vance anyways.
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, I like you better. How about that? You're not better than him, but I like you better than him.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, it's been a fun-filled week so far this week, folks. So a lot of emotions and things going on in our world, but we're not going to address that tonight. We need a little bit more time to heal. It may come up here in a few weeks, but we need some time to heal. So we're going to go on some other things tonight. Before we do that, though, are you ready for a Get to Know You segment?
Sure.
All right. What's the dumbest question you ever got in a Sunday school and the dumbest answer you ever heard? The only ones I know are adult Sunday school. Now I got to kind of think.
Yeah, I can't remember back to children's, but I do remember a question being asked about the Holocaust and whether you would hide people that were being hunted like animals.
Yeah.
And if someone came to your door and asked you if you were hiding them, would you tell them or would you just lie? And that wasn't necessarily the dumbest question. It's an interesting question. I'll say that. But the dumbest answer was the teacher himself saying, I would tell them I had them and just trust God that it would all turn out all right. And that is the dumbest answer.
I don't
know what the dumbest question is.
I can't think of any really dumb questions. I can think of some dumb lessons, like getting carnations, limp carnations to
yeah,
answer
that's
wives.
True. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm doing this for you folks. Because
one of those boom boom things.
Yeah, trying to clear them up because there's some times where I'm listening back to the audio and all you hear is me in the background going, because I'm so congested. I apologize. Thank you for dealing with this. But yeah, getting at the whole marriage class, and another dumb answer was in that class too of sometimes, even if you're grieving, a close family member dies, you just need to have sexual contact.
And one guy going, it could be blow your mind. I'm like, your father dies or something. Somebody, it was like, I think that's what it was. And it was like,
well, that was a good funeral. How about we head back home real quick before the kids get there?
And then you're rating it. Yeah. Like, I mean, you do you, but don't try to like tell people. I don't know. That whole class was so messed up trying to like make marriages good. And it was all superficial and did it really do any help for anybody? I don't think so.
No.
It was just superficial shit that doesn't change anything, which is very typical of evangelical Christianity. Let's be honest.
All right. As a kid, what was your go-to why question that drove adults insane? No, I
Man,
know
I
you
don't
got to have
remember
some.
I don't remember my childhood though. So I don't know. I know I asked why a lot and got shut down a lot, but I don't remember I wasn't why wasn't okay. It was just usually I told you so, and I hated that answer.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You don't remember any?
No, I can't think of anything in particular, or I told it why because I told you so, or why if I were to say something about Christianity or something, like why would God, it was just the Lord works in mysterious ways, which is a blanket statement. You can ask God when you get to heaven. That was another answer I got.
You got dumb answers for your why questions. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Rarely did anybody try to actually help me understand anything.
Well,
that's why
it's a tough question for us old fogies, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we'll blow past that one. Mm-hmm. Here's one for you. I get in a little more in depth for you. If you could go back and ask your old pastor one unfiltered why without consequence, what would it be?
I think which pastor. I've had so many.
I'd be like, why do you have a nicer car, a nicer house than me and half the people in your church? And are still asking for a tithe every Sunday?
Yeah, I think of one in particular individual that we knew that I kind of tried to I don't know if there was a savior complex there with this person, but I was trying to befriend this person because I felt like people left this person out. I don't know if you remember. And this person did so much for the church, right? Mm-hmm. Donated with time and money and flowers and all sorts of things. Why did she never get any recognition from the pulpit? And yet when others did way less, they were congratulated and praised. And or another question, why did you shame a guy for making copies of papers to give to preschool kids and not shame the guy who actually literally stole money from people through fraudulent activity, went to jail for it and everything? Why was that not mentioned at all? But this other person was shamed because he made copies of preschool papers where it's copyright prohibited, which is, granted, it's illegal. But that one had to come in front of the group and be shamed, where the other one, who likely did it to even people in the congregation, but did it to the community, as a whole, and that never got put up. Nobody said anything. It was silent, almost like you don't talk about it. Why did that happen?
Yeah. It's a good question. Good question.
I'm in a irritated, feisty mood right now, so just keep that in mind while you do this.
That's good. We'll play off that. All right, final one. What's a question you are still asking yourself today that religion tried to shut down? There's so many different ones. I can think wine. Why is alcohol prohibited in so many things when it was such a prevalent thing in the culture throughout the Bible?
They've convinced themselves it's grape juice. They've convinced them in some circles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why? I guess the only thing that's coming to mind right now would be why is there a scripture verse that says love doesn't take offense, but Christians are the most easily offendable people I've ever met in my life? They get offended about everything. The words you say, what you drink, what you eat, what you wear,
the false persecution.
Yeah. Yeah.
of
That they
everything.
have to like create so that they feel like they're in good with their God,
Yeah.
because they're supposed to be persecuted. So if they're not getting persecuted because they're not persecuted, they will create it so that they
Yeah.
can feel like they're persecuted. It's all smoke and mirrors. Would that work there?
Yeah, it's justification of their faith. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Can you guess what we're going to be talking about today?
Lies that we were told or something. I don't know.
Not quite.
Sorry.
We're going to go a little different tangent than usual.
What?
I'm going to try to go a little more philosophical today.
All right. I don't mind that.
We're going to stretch our minds, and we're going to focus on the question.
Is this a play off of Focus on the Family?
No.
Oh, because it sounded like it.
No, I've done my deed for James Dobson. So. Well, the episode came out today. We were talking about it too. And the opening clip that I cut out was a remark to his new book, Face Down, Ass Up.
Okay.
So the whole episode starts with that clip.
Wow.
Died last week.
Gosh, Dan.
I didn't know he hadn't died yet.
I mean, I don't know.
So
I don't know how I feel about people mocking it. They can do it. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. But I don't know if I would want to do it. But I'm not sad he's dead.
No, but we're going to focus on the question, why? It's a age-old question. And it's like the kryptonite to systems, especially religious systems. Because when you start asking why, that's a sign of someone that wants to learn, grow, understand.
Curiosity. Yeah.
It's, the root of curiosity. And systems don't like that. They want you just to sit down, shut up, listen, and obey. Follow what we tell you. These are the rules. These are the parameters. And don't ask why. Don't try to find contradictions. Don't worry about any of that. Engage your cognitive dissonance and go on. So we're going to explore why today. Because why not?
Why not?
So with that in mind, let's play a little game. Are you ready to play a game?
Sure.
Are you, though?
Not really, but I'll do it.
You love games.
I know. I told you I'm in like a piss and vinegar kind of mood. Like I want to punch something.
Well, it's a good thing I'm in a different room then.
I'm embracing what anger feels like. And it's kind of pent up. Like I need to move. Like I'm bouncing my leg here, trying to deal with it.
She's going through one. All right. We're going to play a game that we can play together today.
Okay.
It's not questions. It's not fill in the blank. It's not inappropriate cringe statements. But we're going to take old philosophers and some of their famous quotes about the human condition, reason, logic, experience, exploratory, trying to learn. And we are going to turn them in to a Christianese form. We're going to Christify.
Oh, gosh. Oh, wow. So we're going to Christianese things.
Yes.
Christify. Okay.
Yes. All right. You ready for this?
Sure. What? Go.
I know your fists are just clenched underneath
no, they're
desk.
Pressed underneath my legs right now. I'm in a very agitated mood. So let's go. Not mad at you. You know that.
Well, yeah, let's get that out there first. It's not me. It's not
Just
me.
want to be clear. It's not you.
It's
not really
things.
Anybody in particular. It's everything.
But maybe that's what we can talk about in the candid conversation. Accepting anger as a female.
Learning how to feel it. Yeah. I don't really like the feeling of it, but I'm trying to sit with it and just let it be there.
All right. Let's see if we can curb some of this anger here. Let's start off with Descartes. Is probably one of the more famous philosophical quotes. I think,
Okay.
therefore I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kind of flies in the face of the Christian religious system thing because they don't want you to
I
think.
can Christianify this one easily.
Okay.
This is my dad's old license plate. He is, I am.
Very good. People always thought we had to borrow that every now and then. They'd be like, why are you driving around a van that says Heisman?
Yeah, I know. Like, first it took me a while, and then I was like, started to glance at it, and I was like, it does look like it says Heisman.
Yeah, he is, I am. No, that's perfect because that's the whole thing. It's not that you think, it's not that you are sentient now and can think and reason for yourself. It's your whole identity, your whole reason for being around is God.
Because he is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or another one that might loosely go with that is we love because he first loved us.
Yeah.
So the only way we're able to do anything or even love somebody is because he loves us. And otherwise we're just incapable, I guess.
Don't think, have faith.
Don't think, have faith. Basically, I'm thinking like,
no,
I don't know if I have a verse.
my example of
your example. Oh, okay. Don't think, have faith. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, because they really don't want you to think. When you start thinking and start trying to apply logic and reason, it destroys their systems. Yeah. Now they got to start answering questions. Now that why comes out and it's just believe. I mean, how many times did you hear that? I mean, you mentioned it earlier. God works in mysterious ways. Well, we'll get the answers when we get into heaven.
Yeah.
All that bullshit. But
you could also take that verse or that saying and think about the verse that says, I don't know if it's a verse. Yeah, it is. Take every thought captive. So like even your thinking is like you're trying to catch it. And then, which I do understand, like I understand now that thoughts are important because if you play with them or entertain them, they can lead to emotions and those emotions lead to actions and blah, blah, blah. But the idea in Christianity was like scanning constantly for thoughts, and you can't really control every thought that comes in your head. You can control what you do with it after you notice it's there, but before that, it's like it just comes and you're like, oh, and then you have to like, there's intrusive thoughts that people have.
Oh, yeah.
And if they think that means they have to like take it and then work with it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like someone pisses you off and you're like, man, I want to just punch them right in the face. It's all right to have that initial thought. You can't control that coming in. That's an emotional response to something. But then what you do with it afterwards, all right, I'm not going to do it. I understand I'm angry, then you're fine. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything about your character.
No, that's like an impulse that happens for a second, and then you respond or you react. If you react, you might do it. But if you are, skilled enough at life, you respond and you restrain that and do what's a better move for you.
Yeah.
Honestly. So,
all right. Number 2.
Next one.
Socrates.
Would you stop saying these names this way?
What's wrong with Socrates? That's from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
It is.
Hey, Socrates.
I don't even know if you said the first. I don't even know if you said Descartes. I always say Descartes, but what did you just say?
Descartes.
Descartes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it. Now I'm like curious.
Socrates. Oh, now she's getting out of anger and she's getting into curiosity mode. That's good.
gotta do this for a little bit.
Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living."
Okay. Oh, it's Descartes. That's Descartes.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Descartes.
Did you know that?
Yeah, Descartes.
Okay, you're not saying it right.
Descartes.
It's
Stay
Descartes.
over
I'll
there.
never say it wrong again now that I've seen
Descartes, go over into that cart corral.
it. Okay. Well, say this one again.
Socrates, the
The
unexamined life
unexamined
is not
life
worth
is
living.
not worth living.
Which I think is a pretty
These
good
are
saying.
very
you know?
wise things. Yeah, that's true. I think what comes to mind, what would go against that would be like, there is no good within you. So if you already know there's good, you're not going to examine anything. You already think you know, like everything I do or want to do is evil, but I need to read this book and it needs to tell me what's good, or my pastor needs to tell me what God says so that I'll do those things. You know, you're not examining yourself. It's just, if something turns out bad, it was God or it was devil or it was you in your selfishness. If it turns out good, it was God. Don't take credit for it. Don't get credit to other people. Give credit to God. So that's how you examine, if that's, you can even call it that in Christianity.
Because if you start examining yourself, you're going to start seeing what's in there, and you're going to start having self-reflection. You might potentially do some self-healing and self-work.
You might actually go, I can make a different decision. But if you think that you're just evil, you're going to be like, no, that's just my sin nature. That's what I always will want to do. And you won't even think that there's another possibility.
And there's not necessarily a rebuke of examination of self. You just have to do it under a certain lens. You have to examine yourself through this lens of you're trash, you're worthless.
Yes. Yeah, that's the lens you get. Like, so, yeah, they would probably say, yeah, it's an exam, or what was the word he used?
What, unexamined life?
The unexamined life. So they would say you examine your life through the lens of your sin nature. And God, or through the lens of what God says, which is really what they say that God says, through that lens. So through that worldview, they like to say all the time, their worldview is you are trash, or you are sin, you are fallen, you are not good, you are nothing about you can be good, and God is all good.
Yeah. How about this one for an alternate? The unquestioned faith is the only life worth living.
Yeah, that's how they would agree with that, probably.
Yeah.
Unless it's a different religion or a different version of Christianity, let's be honest.
So,
you know, like Catholics, we'd be like, no.
You need to question a little
You
bit
should
more.
question that faith. Yeah. I mean, look at my dad.
Yeah.
He questioned the Catholic faith, but then when I questioned the evangelical faith, he was ready to throw me out. Like, even though his parents didn't throw him out, you know what I'm saying? They stayed Catholic.
He threw you out.
Pretty much. I was pretty much kind of, I was not a great kid at that point to him.
All right. Protagoras. Man is the measure of all things.
Man is the measure of all things. I don't even know exactly. What do you think he meant by that?
That kind of everything's measured by the accomplishments of man. So everything that has come about, I'd say.
I mean, we're the only species that actually like measures and pays attention to things and compares and contrasts, right?
Well, especially men.
Well, literally men, but also humankind, right? Is that what he's meaning?
It's like 5.5 is average.
Okay. Oh gosh, Dan, seriously.
So, yeah, I think it's kind of that, man is the measure of all things. So the accomplishments of man are kind of in the idea of the world. I mean, it really puts man at the center of everything. I think a Christian alternative would be God is the measure of all things.
Oh, yeah.
And this puts, that statement right there really flies in the face of religious systems. You know, it's almost a humanist, I guess, viewpoint of everything.
Okay, I'm reading what it actually says. This is the AI overview, so take it with a grain of salt. But it says, man is the measure of all things means that truth, values, and the nature of reality are relative to human perception, judgment, and experience rather than existing as objective, universal facts independent of humankind. So I would say, like, truth, values, and the nature of reality, they are kind of relative. I mean, there are facts that are true. There are like actual actions that happened, but nobody can be positive, even though they feel like they are, that, I mean, they've done tests to see, like, people do not remember things the right way. Like, all our memories are distorted. We're distorting, we're deleting, and we're generalizing, and we're doing all sorts of things to make sense of things that are happening around us. Our subconscious just does that. So, I don't know.
And it's up to the
which is a
individual
good thing to know, right?
Yeah.
But in Christianity, you're right. It would be like God is the measure of all things, but it's not really God. It's your interpretation of God, your understanding of God.
It's your pastor.
Or your pastors. But even you, like, I bet you, I would even venture to say there are very few Christians, if any, that believe exactly the same on everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you were to go through every possibility of every situation,
if there was 100 Christians, you'd have 100 different beliefs.
Yeah, that's what I feel like that is true.
So, but even in that, thinking about that proves this statement, because it's up to the individual's interpretation, the individual's perspective. That's their reality of things.
Yeah.
This is what fits and works best for me. So they're even holding tight to it without even realizing it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, a lot of these things kind of are true. I mean, these are great philosophers, right? That have said things that still today people wrestle with, I think, therefore I am. I think some people have kind of pulled away from Descartes' view and said, like, it's not just I think, therefore I am, but I don't know. They've changed it a little bit. I can't remember. But it's still something some hold to, and it, and all of these are actual, like, kind of truths in some way that these great minds kind of happened upon, or not happened upon, probably through curiosity, through asking the wise. They landed at this point that's, but Christianity doesn't let you go there. So,
all right. Here's one that they'll love. Nietzsche. God is dead and we have killed him.
Oh, gosh. I don't know how we're supposed to respond to this one. First of all, there's no, can you Christian? Oh, and I was, God is dead and we have killed him. Well, I mean, just the fact that you killed Christ, that it's our fault that Jesus died on the cross and it's because of our sin. So we should be grateful forever that he did it and thank him.
I think if you're going a little deeper on this, the idea of God as this entity, this creator of everything, has been killed by the faith, because the faith has created this God in their own image. They've molded him into what fits best for them.
Yeah.
I would agree. True concept of this all-being deity that's out there that created everything, it's all loving, has been destroyed to fit and compromise into a box of power and control that man has created.
Yeah. I think anytime you create, I mean, even, and I know you kind of misspoke there, but there isn't this, well, I don't think there isn't this being out there, it's just this force, this something, this isness, this existence, whatever it is that brought things, started this that we're in. And which was non-judgmental, just kind of like, almost like evolution. Just, it's not really judgmental. It's just like, this is how this is going to, because these work together. You know what I'm saying? It's very logical and reasonable, and it's not based on it's not even really based on survival of the fittest. And I don't know. I mean, that probably played a role, but there's other things that have played a role in evolution, that it wasn't always the fittest that survived, right? Because there's other things that you'd be like, wow, well, why did that survive? But so whatever this thing has been turned into a being that is separate from us, which is the first problem. Because now we got to look for this being and find it, right, in order to be good, or in order to understand our world. Now we've created something, and then we put all these attributes on it, and then therefore that's how you create a god. It's not that hard to create a god. I just got to create something. I got to create something that feels separate, make you feel like you're lacking something, and then point to you where it's at. And then say that has all the attributes that you want, and you'll want it. It's marketing 101.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's really what Christianity was and is. It started that way anyways.
All right. Here's a good one for you. Rousseau. Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains.
Oh, God, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one, actually.
Because we put ourselves in these systems. Again, it could be applied directly to the religious systems and everything like that. We are born free. We have, we're coming here butt ass naked. Nothing's holding us back, and we can continue on that way, but automatically we put restrictions on them.
And in a way, yeah. Are we born free, though? Because we're born right into parents who have a system of...
For that split second, you're free, but once the parents are there, you're put into chain. They're the ones that put
you're born into a culture. Yeah.
Yeah. They're the first ones to put, chains on you and hold you back.
I mean, that is true. Yeah. How do you Christianize? Well, they wouldn't say that you're born free. They would say you're born in sin.
Yep.
And
Christ set you free.
In order to get free, you have to believe this system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're born in sin. You're born in chains, and Christ broke these chains.
Yes, exactly.
Is what they would say.
When I would say, in all actuality, I think the story of Jesus, and he's not the only one that tells this story, is that you are born, maybe not with free will in the sense of like, there's a lot of limiting things in the culture that you're born into in the planet, right? I can't like fly right when I'm born or anything. I'm never going to be able to fly like with wings and stuff. So I'm not entirely free to choose anything that I want.
Yeah.
There are parameters, right? So if free will exists, it's outside of this realm. But in the sense of like who I become and who I want to be, all those things are kind of free. And then you get entangled by your parents, by the culture, by everybody else who's telling you who to be. And I think that Christ, but also like a lot of other mystics before him, were basically saying like, go back and remember who you are. Like you get to decide who you are. You don't have to be what everybody's forcing you to be. And I think that is like, there's some beauty in that, a lot of beauty in that. And that does kind of feel like a freedom. You're getting set free because the freedom is not to be able to do absolutely whatever you want, but to be the person that you want to be maybe is entirely possible.
Yep. Very nice. All right. Aristotle. Happiness depends on ourselves.
Happiness depends on ourselves. I would agree with that. Yeah. That would definitely not be a Christian saying.
Definitely not. No, happiness depends on God. Would be your thing.
Your joy is in the Lord.
Yeah.
Joy, Jesus, others, yourself. Make sure you're last.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You're way down there. But yeah, your happiness is in how much you tithe.
I don't know. You'll be happier when God will provide.
If you buy me a jet for Jesus, you'll be really happy. But that statement in and of itself, I think there's a lot of power in that because definitely is some truth to it.
Yeah.
You are the master of your own ship, and you can find your own happiness if you allow yourself to take the wheel and kind of drive to where you want to go.
And, when we were Christians, or this might be something that's not just in the Christian world. I heard it when I was a Christian, that happiness it's based on circumstances. That's what they would say. And joy, I think, is what he's referring to more, that joy, that deep, feeling content. Part of that would be joy, but that is based, like, if that is placed, they really are the same thing. Christianity is trying to split them, I think, in some ways. Maybe they can refer to two different things, but like when you're enjoying something outside of yourself, and then if that's gone, you lose that emotion, that experience of loss. I think, I don't know. I guess I'm philosophizing this, and I don't want to. I want to go back to being angry.
No, we're pulling you out for a minute. You can go back to it later.
Dan, the whole point is I haven't been able to be angry, and I'm like, feel it right now, and I just kind of want to feel it and let it move so that it can go.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyways, move on.
All right. Sartre, hell is other people.
Oh, God. Yes. Amen. Preach it. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's not true. That can be true, though.
Yeah, it is.
Would we have a sense of hell without other people?
I think there could be. You can put yourself in your own personal hell. I think people.
Yeah, but it's usually based on other people, isn't it? I mean, it could be based on your situation, like acts of God, for lack of a better term, like a tornado or a hurricane or something demolishing everything. But if everybody worked together, and let's say those things happen, and yes, and we had a different view of like death. We weren't thinking like that's final. We were thinking, okay, maybe we believed in a little bit of reincarnation or something. And not that karma was happening, but yet it was just like, hey, this is what they kind of wanted before they came in. First of all, then that would take away the suffering of death, a lot more of the suffering of death, right? And if everybody like helped one another and stuff, like even those hurricanes or tornadoes, and everybody came out and helped rebuild, and it was just supportive. And a lot of times we'll see glimpses of that around those things, but then it doesn't last. It never lasts, So other people, I think, like, we humans cause the hell, but we also cause the heaven.
Yeah.
We really do, because, I mean, I guess the planet can feel heavenly without people, for sure. But people do, like, the love of another human is, like, there's not really anything that kind of touches on that. So I don't know. I don't know.
It's a little bit of give and take on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, other people can definitely bring a hellish existence to some.
Yeah. And that, again, like the happiness, it's if you let it do that to you, Sometimes some of the things they do are out of your control, obviously, but it's how you respond.
Yep.
Which is a lesson we all have to learn, which is not fun sometimes.
Yep. So, all right. Now that we got our all philosophical here, worked on now, let's continue on. Why?
Why what?
Why?
Why? Remember that phrase, who's on second, why's on third?
We need another 20 minutes of information to put out.
We got to talk for 20 more minutes.
Why is the great enemy of the church? It's the great enemy of systems. You think about political systems, when someone comes out and says, hey, we want to take all these people and move them out of our country. Why?
Why?
Well, because
they're taking our jobs, and they're stealing our money.
Yeah. Why?
Why? Why do you think that they're doing that?
Yeah.
Well, because that's what's happening. That's what
Yeah.
so and so told me. Why do you think they would tell you that?
Yeah. Why
Are you
keeps
sure it's true?
pushing
You know?
to answers and
Yeah.
the root to get to that truth that's in there. Eventually, on
Yeah.
that example, you're going to get to the fact that I don't like brown people. And I can't accept my own decisions in my life and saying that's the reason why I'm in my situation.
Mm-hmm.
Not because these people are taking jobs that I don't want to work and I never do well at, but because I made these decisions not to work and do my own things. That's why I'm suffering now. It's not because of these people. That's what the
No.
why
And
gets to.
and that really is you might get to the point where they say, I don't know if you get to the point where they don't say, I don't like brown people, because I know that's something people say, that people are inherently, yes, have we been taught racist stuff? Absolutely, we've been taught racist stuff. But when you get down to it, I don't think most will say that they don't like brown people. I think they would say they've been told things about brown people and brown people scare them, or they feel like brown people are evil in some way because they've been told all these lies, or, not just brown people, anybody, LGBTQ, it applies there too. Like they don't get to know anybody who's LGBTQ. They just stay away from, and even there's segregation in our churches. We have white churches and black churches. We really do. Is there some mixing? Yes, but not near enough. Like you definitely, there's a difference.
What why does is get to the root. In this example, it tells you that you have a lack of understanding, you're ignorant in a certain area, and you'd rather believe and trust in your ignorance and whatever stereotypes or
and you're choosing to trust
phobias that you believe.
Yeah, you're choosing to trust certain people who actually are trying to get one over on you. You're trusting them rather than trusting, letting people just speak for themselves. Because are there brown people that are not trustworthy? Yes. Are there white people that are not trustworthy? Yes. Are there brown people that are trustworthy? Yes. It's not based on the color of the skin. It's not raced. It's not based in their sexuality. It's not based, like, it's the character. It's just watch people, get to know them, and you'll know what type of person, whether you want to be up close or you want to be far away. But instead, it's just, no, this whole group over here is bad, because it keeps you from seeing that the people that are making these rules are actually the bad ones, because they're usually the ones that are preying on people. Let's be honest. It's definitely pastors and politicians and.
Definitely. And that's why they don't like to question why. They don't like questions at all. They hate curiosity. You've talked many times on here that your curiosity was shut down as a child because it causes questions. It causes uncomfortableness, even in the person asking it, because there's some core beliefs that they have that, depending on what the answer is, if the person honestly answers it, could shake them core beliefs. But it's a sign of, I want to understand. I want to know the truth. I don't want to sit here and just be spoon-fed a bunch of dribble every day and take that as this is how life is and just believe it. And that's where too many people are today. They stopped asking why and just said, that's right. I'm not going to listen.
And that's why life gets so boring when you do that too.
Well, it doesn't get boring for
out.
us because we ask why too many times and it makes people uncomfortable. They do not like it. That's why people don't sometimes like us around, because we'll ask, why?
Well, why? Why do you think that? Or even asking ourselves why. Like, I'm not afraid to say, like, oh, like, let's say I'm triggered by something, instead of like going, oh, that's a trigger and that person is bad because they triggered that. And instead it's like, why am I triggered here?
Yeah.
What is causing that? And it's not just why, but it's all the questions. It's just questioning in general. Why, how, when, all those things. Yes. Like questioning, which another word for questioning is doubt. And in evangelical Christianity, at least, doubting was a sin. Period. You do not doubt. That means you don't entertain any questions, really.
I found great joy and entertainment in when people respond or comment on something I post, wherever it may be, of instead of just giving a straight answer, especially if I know they're coming from a religious mindset, instead of giving just a straight answer to them, here's my answer. I ask them a question.
Mm-hmm. The Socratic method.
Yeah. And
yeah.
They don't like that. Usually the first response or two back is with another, let me ask you this. It's like, okay, but why? Why would we want to do that? I don't understand. Or just a simple, like the other day, that guy was going off on religious things that didn't make any sense and grammatically awful, the flow of his
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. You read it to me, yeah.
And then I just responded with, what?
Huh?
And then he hit another one back, and I'm like, what? You're not making any sense in what you're saying. I know you have a thought you want to get out, and he ended up stopping because he couldn't handle it. He couldn't explain it.
You rage baited him.
Well, what it is that when you're spoon-fed stuff and you're just told to talk bullet points, you don't think about it. You don't know it. You don't understand it. So then when you try to convey that thought and defend your position against someone else, a lot of times it doesn't make sense. It sounds like
because
47.
You don't know how to skillfully use it.
A perfect example is 47. When he's asked a question about something and he starts to do his weave and he's all over the place and talking about things. It's that dementia and everything else included, but he doesn't actually know. Even though I know the most about grass. No one in the world knows more about grass than me.
More about grass than anybody else.
It's going to be beautiful grass. It's going to be the grassiest grass you ever seen.
He talks like a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's like a 6-year-old. I know more about, or my dad knows more than anybody else, or whatever. Like that's what it sounds like.
Don't know anything and can't defend themselves and can't defend their position because they never thought about it. They never asked the questions. They can't. And they can't
Or they'll go to their pastor and tell, how do I answer this? My kid asked this question. How do I answer this? And then they just get their answer and they go back and repeat it.
But they can't explain it because they don't know. No. They're just getting quotes to say back. Yeah. And it's like, why? I don't understand. Explain yourself a little more. That doesn't make sense. Or how about this? And it's like, oh, and their buttholes pucker. You can hear the whole clasp of all these butt cheeks in a church when someone asks why.
So, well, I mean, it's like a good picture of how you're raised in Christianity, how I was raised, is it's like the church is the adult feeding a jar of baby food to the babies that are sitting in the congregation and just putting it in their mouths and actually forcing them spoon in their mouths and making them eat it, instead of like the babies being adults sitting at the table and actually discussing something as to what it might mean, which is how the original, the New Testament believers, they sat around and they talked about this stuff. They asked their questions, and the apostles didn't know all the answers. They talked about it and learned and tried to figure out. I don't know what that means, Probably looking through Old Testament stuff or asking like, how do we do this now? And what does this look like? And now we don't go to the temple. What do we do? Whereas today, you don't see that. Even you go to a Sunday school and it's somebody Sunday school class, they're telling you it's just a smaller version of the big service, At least that's the way it was for us.
Style of learning. And that's one thing that kind of, the older I got, the more I started to appreciate more of the Socratic method, ask the questions. Let's reason through this. Let's talk. Let's discuss this as a group.
Yeah.
And the lecture kind of was, this is boring. I'm just getting information poured into me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get
so dry.
clarity.
Yeah.
I don't get the full understanding of it because I don't get to ask the questions. But when I get the
questions, and this is why you almost fall asleep. You think of college or high school when you had lectures. You almost fall asleep in those classes. They're so boring. It's just somebody droning on and on and on and on and on and on. There's no interjecting. There's no it's just a monologue.
Yeah.
And it's not even interesting half the time. So it's a way different way of learning.
So I think questioning is probably the biggest thing. If people really want true growth and true knowledge and to be able to learn more in life, you have to be willing to question.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the exact opposite of what the church teaches. Don't question, have unshakable faith.
Yeah. And they don't want you to, it's the opposite of what they preach, because they know how dangerous it is. And they call it the slippery slope. And it's fun to slide on.
Yeah. It definitely is a slippery slope, and we're living proof of that. Once we started questioning.
To them, we're sliding down. Look, see, I feel like I should I have to point this way. Sliding down to this.
All right. Well,
people who are just listening are probably like, what are they doing? We're trying to touch the fire behind us it's on a backdrop. So we don't know what we're doing.
So questioning is the slippery slope that pulls you out. And I think one good thing, start wrapping this one up a little bit here. I think if you look throughout history, the times of the greatest human growth as a whole is when people started questioning and started searching and got really curious.
Yeah.
The Enlightenment.
That's
people started getting
happen.
curious.
Yeah.
And then, you had democracy form in America and in France and in England. And, people were starting to look at different ways of doing it. These monarchical systems aren't good. They're not practical. Let's figure out what else we can do. Let's look into this. Let's experiment here.
On a positive note, like, despite all the things that are happening in our country, we are now, it's causing that kind of curiosity again. Yeah. What type of government would work?
Yeah.
Like, what do we need to do here? This shouldn't have happened. How did we get to this place, and how do we get out of it?
Yeah.
But also then how do we move forward? Because we're never going to go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
That system doesn't work. I know some people are just like, let's just put Democrat. That's not the solution here. Like, we need something better.
Honestly, the people in charge want to take it back even farther than that to more of a dictatorship, tyrannical, monarchical system. And
they really did pick the wrong country to do this in. They really did, because Americans are not. We may look like. I think it looks like to other countries sometimes because we're not like all in the streets and stuff, but in our heart of hearts, we're not going to comply.
No.
We're just not going to. We will continue to
there's too many people
live freer than what they want. Yeah, they're not going to be able to pull off a Handmaid's Tale fully here. They're not going to be able to do it. They're trying. I'll give them that. They're trying. They ain't going to pull it off. Like, we would rather go to the grave than live that way. So they'll just.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, again, look at history. What you're doing now is the opposite of what history has proven to be growth and improvement on society and mankind as a whole. Enlightenment, the Renaissance. You came out of the dark ages of what it's like today's system. What our leaders trying to do today is put us back into the dark ages. Yeah. Church is in charge. We're going to run everything.
That is what they want. Yeah.
You're going to respond to the leader. And you're going to respond to the church. And those are the two authorities in your life.
Or you will be punished.
Yeah. And everything's going to be dependent on them. And what came out of that was the Renaissance, when you had, Da Vinci and Michelangelo and all that. You started getting advancements in the sciences and challenges to the church in the sciences, and with Galileo and all them.
Galileo. Yeah. Did you say Galileo?
I did. He was
Did you do it on purpose or accident?
He was an accident. He was a Finnish Italian. Galileo.
Okay. Galileo.
But even Christ's time was kind of a renaissance of areas, because that was a new philosophical thought coming through. Questions were being asked, systems were being challenged. So when I look at today, I can start seeing that there are signs that there's a change afoot. Things are starting to get questioned. People are starting to question the faiths and leaving and not getting the answers.
And it's not just the faith. So many things are getting questioned. The
Yeah.
patriarchy, misogyny, white supremacy, like all of these huge systems, we are all aware. We have names for them now. Before we didn't name them. We didn't have names for them.
We
At
had
least they
names for
weren't known
them.
at mass level.
We had
What?
names for them all. It was life.
Life.
That's just life.
We're just like, that's, yeah, you're right. That's life. That's how it is. There's nothing you can do about it, you know? And we're like, fuck that. There is things we can do about it. We have options here. And I feel like, and you just reminded me when you were saying it like we are in, if we believe in evolution at all, like there's got to be times, I don't know, because I've never studied evolution or been taught it except for a class I took in college. But there's got to be times, I don't know, you tell me, in evolution where there's like spurts that evolution kind of speeds up. It looks like something speeds up, and it could be in a species or the planet as a whole. I don't know. Are there times like that? Like, I feel like we're going through some sort of growing pain that's just we're going to blossom into a even better world.
Honestly, I don't remember. I mean, it makes sense that there's just like this radical of something.
Yeah, I'll type it in.
Some sort of external,
like a growth spurt in evolution.
Yeah. So I can't recall anything offhand. I don't want to talk out of my ass like we usually
the AI overview says, yes, growth is a fundamental aspect of evolution, manifesting in various ways. Okay. Evolution can involve the overall acceleration of growth or changes in specific. That's not really answering my question. I didn't ask it well enough.
It's like you're talking to your pastor. But as you're looking that up, I think nowadays that we're seeing the beginnings of possibility of a new Renaissance, Enlightenment type era, whatever it may be called, where systems that have been in place, these systematic issues that we have, are actually going to be challenged and shaken and questioned and hopefully toppled. So that we can progress into the next era of life.
I think they will. I think most of them will topple. I mean, look at all the different religions. Like a lot of us realize that, I don't know if in Hinduism, I know they have a lot of different like idols and all these little gods that I don't know if they really believe like we believe, like that it's literally real. Or if they're just like, it's a story to kind of explain stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You know, like using gods to like tell a story. I don't know. But I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, like we've evolved to the point where now there's like a few main ones. Like we don't all believe in like Zeus and all these weird gods that they had, or different ones, like Mount Olympus and all that. We've got some big ones still hanging on, like the Jewish God, in monotheism, we got these three big ones, right? Which are supposedly one and the same. Maybe we're outgrowing that. Maybe, but I did see that, yes, there have been growth spurts at different times in evolution. And why wouldn't there be in our, like, we're just kind of like mini universes that you've heard that said. We have growth spurts when we're growing. We have growth spurts in our mental growth, our spiritual growth, and our physical growth. So it's like, why wouldn't evolution as a whole do the same thing? So could this be like a growth spurt that we just, it's uncomfortable. It's growing pains. We don't like it. We wish it was different, but this is part of the process.
I think we're actually due for another cycle, because I can't remember what it is. It's like 500 years or 700
Well, that is said about the church. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, about every 500 years, Protestantism started about 500 years ago.
Yeah. There's new changes in society. Things kind of go, okay, we need to reevaluate and change the path, because what we're doing right now just ain't working. So let's move it forward and get some changes.
Kind of like in your own life. I sometimes have clients that are like feeling stuck. I've felt stuck in my own life, and it's almost like you need to be shoved to move. Like it's not necessarily a push, but you need to be shoved, like just jolted just enough so that you'll go a different direction. Because if you're not shoved, you'll continue on your cycle that you're on. And it's the same for us as a world too, I would think, society.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's something hopeful to look at, that maybe we're in the beginnings of this new system that's going to be coming out that will show improvement and growth in society as a whole.
And really, and the new growing at the same time as the old is dying is probably something that we're kind of watching. Like some new is coming up out of, I mean, you don't get new unless something else dies, pretty much, right? In order to have something new, something's got to die or be changed in some drastic way. So, so that's what we're watching. And just, I feel like
it all starts with why.
Yeah.
And questioning and looking for answers. And, you know, it's, just, and I guess kind of something to take away from this one is just don't be afraid to ask the questions, even of yourself, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to learn. Like you said earlier.
Especially of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. When you had the example earlier about being triggered. Instead of being like, well, fuck that guy. Stop triggering me, which is a common response today.
That is what people do. And they think it's justified. Like, you trigger me. And there is a moment where you need to pull back from that person. So you can go through this process of growing and analyzing and self-reflecting or whatever. Yeah. Like, you're right. It is, the first reaction is like, get away. You're the problem. Right. Instead of using a trigger to become curious, which that changes everything about it. A trigger is an opportunity rather than a punishment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, so but not in Christianity, though.
It all depends on if you're going to ask the question.
Yeah.
And in the faith, we never asked the question.
Nope.
We got triggered in the faith. Well, you're just persecuting us. And that justifies our belief even more. Instead of going, why am I triggered by this person challenging my beliefs? I still have my beliefs. I can still hold tight to them. They're not changing anything. So I still got it.
But it's because they are changing things in them. They are beginning to ask people ask them very good questions. And so that's troubling. And it's an uncomfortable thing because they are not used to sitting with the unknown. In Christianity, everything's based on a certainty.
Yeah. And think about...
And you're not going to ask questions if you're certain.
Not to start another tangent here, but think about when you're in the faith. You don't get the questions. You're in a bubble. You're shielded.
Oh, you don't hear them. Yeah. Until you go to college or you go work somewhere where people are not Christian, even though some of these parents like to either bring their kid to their workplace if they can, or put them in a place that's Christian, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Christian kids go and work at Chick-fil-A.
Hobby Lobby,
you know? So they do that because they want to shelter them longer. And now they have Christian colleges so that they can, but the problem is that Christians don't notice is there are so many different types of Christianity. Your kid is bound to pick up on one that you do not like or things that you do not agree with, you know? And that's because there's tons of different people calling themselves Christians that are going to that Christian college. So no matter what, you're going to be introduced to different ideas. And if your faith is so weak that it can't handle the whys, or if you have to like just avoid being around those people because it weakens when you're around those people, that's not a strong faith. That's faith in something that's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, right? It can't be the truth because if it's the truth, it's the truth no matter what. Yeah. And you don't have to try to convince yourself. It will be obvious.
Yep.
You know, so.
Anywho, all right, we better wrap this one up here. So, question. That's the best thing you can do because all questions are going to do are give you answers, give you knowledge, give you understanding, give you a better view of the whole world in general instead of just accepting something as being true. Yeah. So with that in mind, go to danican.com, check out that. It's got everything we have on there for everything we do. So podcast and Candy's podcast and Candy's hypnotherapy and Substack and blog and all that good stuff on there. So go to dannycan.com. Check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to smash that like, hit that subscribe. We'd appreciate that. And what else? Oh, give us 5 stars. Ask, why am I doing this? It's because these two are pretty nice. They're cool. I want to give them a blessing today. So give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. And if you have time, leave a comment. We love hearing them. It's our favorite when we get comments. So if you got that, do that for us. So
I have a quote when you're ready to end. I have a quote that goes with what we just...
Well, I got one too.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
share yours.
The only people that fear questions are the ones that are selling answers.
Oh, that's very good. Who said that?
I don't know. AI.
No, that's pretty good. I mean, and it's a marketing trick.
Yeah.
Create the itch, then create the solution to the itch or the scratch, or scratch the itch. So my quote is by Thomas Jefferson, which holds a lot of weight with MAGA and right. And you know what he said? Question with boldness, even the existence of God.
Yeah.
So deconstructionists, we are on the right path according to Thomas Jefferson.
Iron sharpens iron. So, all right. Thanks for listening, folks. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Are we going to try to get the other one in?